So a lot of women say they want peace. But what happens when life gets quiet? Peace comes. Can you sit with it, or do you run? See, the problem is we're always so busy. We stay busy because staying busy helps us to not really dig into our own identity, our own expectations. As long as we're busy, we don't have to deal with that. But when we get quiet, we have to sometimes ask ourselves, who am I? What is going on? What's been my identity? And obviously, we know that that's not every single day of quiet, but there's moments that we run from it. I watch people, all the time in my life, and my clients and stuff, just struggle to sit alone. I'm like, can you just sit by yourself? Either in meditation, just quiet, no scrolling, none of that. And it's like, no, I can't do that. That's impossible. And the problem is, it's not because it's impossible. Yes, we have this overstimulated world. We can talk about that. But a lot of times it's what comes up when we sit quietly. Our own internal feelings and expectations of ourselves. And we're either excited, hiding from them, or whatever, but we struggle with that. For me, a story that comes up, I was a stay-at-home mom. All the chaos of the kids being at the house all the time, the schedules, the sibling rivalry. Any mom that's out there with toddlers, that all you want is to be able to sit down and eat a dinner in quiet and relaxation. And you go through that, and you've done, my last one, I only have two, but my last one went off to college. And he went out of state. I drove home. That's a whole nother video. And I came into a house that was peaceful, but it was silent. Like, silent. My husband was traveling for work, and I had this time to myself. The things that moms want. Oh, I can't wait to watch whatever I want to watch on TV. Oh my gosh. I couldn't turn the TV on. I questioned everything. That silence of the house. I didn't turn the TV on, not because of that I didn't enjoy the silence of it. I just didn't know what to even watch. Let's be honest. I talk about this. This is part of my whole thing, is we lose ourselves in all of this. So what was I going to watch? I always had my kids watch the TV, or my husband was watching TV. Now I had the TV. What was I going to do? I couldn't watch TV, even though, a year earlier I might have been like, I can't wait to watch TV on my own and watch whatever I want to watch. But when the moment came, I really couldn't do it, because it was switching the identity in my head. And I remember that time literally walking around the house and asking the thoughts, because it's silent. The house is just absolutely silent. There's no big old shoes over here, no extra mess in the sink, nothing. The thing I thought I wanted, until I got it. Because it wasn't really the silence that I wanted. It was the connection to myself and knowing who I was within the chaos that I wanted. It's because once my son was gone, and I was no longer had any children at home, and they were doing their own thing, young adults, I remember even asking to myself, my thinking, my process was, can I call myself a mom? What am I now? Yes, I'm still a mom. Yes, we are. But I was so connected to that role of caregiver, connected to that role of being there for everyone else all the time, that when I wasn't actively doing that, I really questioned, who am I? Who is Michelle in all of this chaos? And that was what started this journey. So even though I said for years I wanted peace, the scary part was, once I got it, I had to really deal with some stuff that I'd been hiding from because of all the busyness. That had more value than being a caregiver, that I could have my own opinions, I could have my own activities. And that was all came about because I got silent. So my question to you is, what would you do if you had silence, if you had the peace, and that you could be just who you are? Because I had no idea who she was. The roles in my life were louder to me than my personal connection to myself. I don't want that ever again. And I encourage all of you who watch this to drop a comment, whatever. I am encouraging you to allow this silence to guide you into a deeper connection with yourself, and allowing that to become a magnificent part of your life. So even though you might not know what to do with silence, it's really the area that helps you step into the true healing that you deserve.